I have known Jameson for 11 years, I think.
I've known Jameson for, a couple of years now.
Connected in New York in January of 2013.
I've known Jameson for 4 years.
I've known Jameson Murphy for I don't even know how long.
4 years, maybe 5 years.
Local radio program that I used to listen to regularly interviewed him, and one of the producers of that radio show, who's a friend of mine, texted me right after the interview and says, "Get to know this guy."
He is funny, charming, caring, charismatic, and extremely witty.
Just magnetic and down to earth.
Full of energy.
I just thought he was another guy, making songs, in his bedroom, which he is. He was that guy, but I didn't know to the extent of how he was making his music, how great it really was, until I heard it for the first time. And I heard the after, and it blew me away.
The first thing I really remember was some of the early YouTube videos that he did, and it was a lot of covers, and I remember watching and listening to them, just being totally in love with his voice and wanting to hear what his original music sounded like. And then I think it was like a couple months later where he released a video with original music, and I was like, yes, I knew it was going to be good.
He's a great storyteller, not just a singer-songwriter.
He's really good at that, at developing these concepts and telling these stories through his music.
It is a storytelling session every time that you listen to one of his songs.
You can relate to everything because he's just a great storyteller. And he's one heck of a producer, and he's got a great voice.
Most importantly, it's his voice.
It's just very soulful. I think he's got great melodies. His voice is incredible.
It just captures you.
Very talented musician, very engaging with his audience.
He has this ability to bring a really authentic and emotive feeling that connects you in a variety of genres.
One thing that I admire about him is he's not like a one-trick pony. It's not like he's just a great singer.
He's an amazing lyricist.
Very put together and very thought out.
He expresses emotions, and he expresses a lot of feeling in his words, and that's what I think makes his music stand out.
Jameson's lyrics, as a songwriter, it just works.
When I'm watching Jameson perform, he's speaking directly to me, and not the 10, 20, 30, 100 people that are around me, whether he's busking on the sidewalk, whether he's at a venue headlining a show. I find his music very personal because of his storytelling, and I don't think he fully realizes the impact his music and his lyrics have in that regard.
At this point, I've heard piano ballads and fun, yuki, folky stuff. Recently, he's been writing more low-key hipster R&B, and in all of those genres, you still really get to hear the emotion and the humanness behind it, and it really connects listeners.
He just puts a lot of thought into his music and in his writing. It's not an easy task for him. I think sometimes he can tend to overthink, but I think that's also what makes him different.
He also has very high standards for himself, as a lot of people do, and I think successful people do that.
To see his level of artistry and to hear the depth and dimension and complexity and passion.
He does not settle for being mediocre.
He has this endless motivation.
Especially when you track in the studio, he's very picky about how he's singing, and he's a hardest on himself when it comes to singing.
He has such a clear vision of what his music is and what he wants for his music.
He's always focused on his career and his music path, and
he's got so many songs in his catalog. He's got a lot of ideas and a lot of ambitions.
Jameson's right now is really pulled in a lot of directions.
If I had to describe Jameson's music in one word, I would say beautiful.
Epic.
Phantasmagorical.
Powerful.
Big.
Sexy.
Such a broad appreciation for genres, for styles, and not just appreciation, but talent also.
He's not making the same record he made 5 years ago.
The first time I heard Jameson's new stuff, I almost pooped my pants. It was so good. I mean, it, like, my heart skipped. I fanboyed so hard.
Seeing that growth as an artist and that constant evolution is something that keeps me interested and keeps other people interested. And he's constantly being innovative, not only in just like media content, but like in like new sounds.
He'll be able to write songs for himself and anybody for the rest of his life.
I think he will do it for the rest of his life.